Hi again everybody, I'm in Seller Central and I'm going to walk you through step by step setting up a product listing. So to get to this page, just go to inventory and add a product. Now because we are setting up our own listing, we have our own UPC code, so we don't need to search in Amazon's catalogue. We just click on create a new product listing. The first thing we need to do is to find the category and subcategory as per the last lecture. Remember, we went to Amazon and we went to look at the best-selling item similar to our item. In this case, it was a head torch. So I was looking for the best-selling head torches to see which category they are listed in, because we want to copy what the best-selling products are doing. So we don't let Amazon find the category for us. Instead, we find it ourselves. So I was looking for sports, so sporting goods. I was looking for outdoor recreation, but that's not on here. So I'm going to go straight to camping and hiking equipment, and I'm going to be looking for lights, camping lights and lanterns, and headlamps. Once you've found yours, just click on select. The first thing you want to do when you land on this page is switch on Advanced View. Product name, this is where you enter your title. So if you have it already created on a text file, you can copy and paste it in here. If not, you can create it right here. The manufacturer, that is you. So you put your name or the company name in here. The manufacturer part number, you can put your UPC code in here. Brand name, this is the name that you're going to call your product, so whatever you've called your product. Package quantity, this will be 1 unless you've got a pack of 2 or a pack of 3, a multi-pack. Even if you're going to create a bundle, which we're looking at later on in a later lesson, but a bundle, we've already spoke about this, it's 2 or more different items, complementary items in one package. That is still one product, so it'd still be 1 in there, but it's only if you have a multi-pack of the same items, then you would put the number of items here. This is where you're going to enter the approximate shipping weight of your product. That's one item, not the whole box, just one item. So each product, what's the weight of one product? Select your measurement of weight. If you're listing on Amazon.com, that's ounces or pounds. And if you're listing in the UK, you could use kilograms or grams. Now, dependent on the marketplace, what is the most common unit of measurement for weight? So whatever it is for that country, use that unit of weight, either ounces and pounds or grams and kilograms. Item display dimensions, you can miss that out, same as the display weight. For colour, you can leave this empty. If you do fill this in, it means you also have to know the colour map as well. So it's better just to leave that empty. This would be hand orientation. Is it made for left-handed or right-handed? Normally you wouldn't be filling that in, but if you have something that's specifically for right-handed people or left-handed people, you can fill that in. Now you may not have all these things, right? This is the sports category. So depending on your category, you may have something else. So what you're seeing here may not be exactly what you see when you go to set up your product listing, because I've got things here like belt style, which would not be in, for example, the kitchen and home category. So it really depends on the category, and there's so many different categories. Obviously, I can't show you them all. So you're just going to have to try and use common sense for things that are not the same as what I'm showing you here. But just bear in mind that these things don't have to be filled in. It's not obligatory, but the more you fill in, the better. But there will be certain things that just don't apply to your product. So for example, belt style doesn't apply, nor does this, nor does this, nor does this, because it's a headlamp that I'm listing. So it's got nothing to do with it. Same with this. GTIN exemption. Your item is not going to be GTIN exempt because you have a UPC, so you can ignore that. Related product ID type, select UPC and then paste your UPC in here. Keep looking down to see if there's anything that is actually relevant to your product. Like none of these are relevant to a headlamp. None of these are relevant. Not relevant, not relevant. Product ID, this is also going to be your UPC. So paste your UPC in there. We're going to skip variations for now. I will come back to it, but this is a more advanced thing. Offer. The SKU, if you leave that blank, Amazon will automatically generate the SKU. So I recommend you leave that blank. You can also leave this blank, country of publication. Seller warranty description. If you want to add an extra warranty over and above Amazon's standard 30-day return policy, that's up to you. I tend not to do that with any of my items, but it would depend a little bit on what you were selling. So if you were selling something that's electronic, then perhaps you might want to add some kind of warranty here. But just bear in mind that obviously you are the one who has to fulfill that if an item breaks. So if you have a 6-month warranty and you have an item that breaks after 5 months, you are the one that needs to replace that or refund the customer. Now, import designation, you can add imported to here. Country is labeled. Nothing in here unless you have a made in China sticker on your item. Glass type, nothing there unless you have glass. Release date, you can just leave that blank. Now for gift wrap and gift message, tick both of these because you've nothing to lose. It doesn't cost you anything, and it just means that shoppers can purchase your item as a gift, so they can purchase it and have it gift wrapped and sent to somebody else. It is the customer who pays for that, not you, so you've got nothing to lose by having those ticked. Condition, select new, and this is your price here, so whatever your price is going to be. Production time, this is going to be irrelevant to you because you're going to be using FBA. This has to be filled in if it's going to take you longer than 2 days to ship the item to the customer after they've ordered it, but because you're using FBA, it's not relevant. Now sale price, this is if you want to run a sale, and this will show up on your listing page that you're running a sale. So you can enter the price and the start date and the end date. So don't fill this in just now, but just bear in mind that if you want to run a sale, so when we get to the part of the course when we're going to start promoting our listing and getting our listing up the rankings in Amazon, we're going to look again at running a sale. And this is where you come to set a sale up. And restock date, which you can ignore, it's not relevant to you at the moment, but if you ran out of stock of this item in the future and you knew exactly when it was coming back in, you could actually set a restock date and that would show up on your listing page, back in stock on such and such a date. Forget about this. This is actually going to be disappearing shortly here on Amazon. This is really if you have a new item but it has a scratch on it or something wrong with the packaging. It doesn't apply to us, and also, as I say, this condition note box is going to be disappearing from this add a product very, very soon. Legal disclaimer, if there's anything about your product where you think you need to add a legal disclaimer, add it here. Start selling date, you can ignore that. Again, because you're using FBA, your items will go live, your listing will go live when your items have arrived at FBA, at the warehouse, and been processed. Signed by, you can also ignore. Fulfillment channel, make sure that you have the right one ticked. I want Amazon to ship and provide customer service for my items. This is FBA. I want to ship the items myself to the customer. That's if you were doing your own fulfilling and you weren't using FBA. So make sure you have this one ticked down here. And onto images. This is where you upload your images, your main image uploaded here and your supplementary images here. Depending on the category that you are selling in, the number of images will vary. Usually you will have 6 or 7 images, the ability to upload 6 or 7 images. If you can use them all, I recommend you do, but a minimum of 4, and we spoke about this already in the lecture earlier on. Now remember, I said that your product must fill up a lot of the space on the image. Well, Amazon says it needs to fill up 85% of the space, but as long as there's not a lot of space round about it, you will be fine. Now, it also says here that images must be at least 1,000 pixels on the longest side and 500 on the shortest side to be zoomable. I say 1,000 on the shortest side, and that's what I told you earlier, and that's because you're going to have a better quality of image when the visitor, the user's on the page and they're zooming the image. If your image is 1,000 pixels on the shortest side, minimum on the shortest side, that is going to give you a better quality of picture, so it's going to be even bigger when the user zooms it. And of course, we already know the main image must have a pure white background, must be a photo, not a drawing. So we spoke about this as well. We said that the 3D rendered images, these are computer generated drawings. These are not actually allowed, even though a lot of people are using them. But the main reason that I advise against them is because customers can tell that it's not real, that it's not a real photograph, and it's quite off-putting. Alright, so far we've looked at the vital information, we have looked at the offer, and we've looked at images. Let's now take a look at the description, and this is where you're going to add your bullet points and your description. Key product features, this is actually your bullet points. You just click here to keep adding more. You get 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you already have your bullet points written out on a text file, copy and paste them now into the fields. If not, write them out here. Now your description, remember when we were looking at the product descriptions earlier, how we were looking at some descriptions that were just a big block of text and others that were formatted really nicely with paragraphs and with bolding to make headlines. On the handout that goes with this lecture, I've given you the information that shows you exactly how to do that, because in order to do it we need to use a little bit of basic HTML, but it's very simple and you'll be able to do it. It's nothing to worry about. So the instructions for that are on the handout that goes with this lecture.